Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. We are at part 2 of the Diane Downs case. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Listener and viewer discretion is very strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. Diane Downs, aka Janelle Evans, was born Elizabeth Diane Fredrickson on August 7th of 1955 in Phoenix, Arizona to Willadine and Esley Lyndon Fredrickson. They are Caucasian. Diane alleged that her dad sexually abused her as a child, had total control over her mom, and that she felt that this prevented her mom from spending time with her. Steve Downs met Diane at Moon Valley High School, where they both graduated from. After high school, Diane attended Pacific Coast Baptist College in Orange, California. This same college expelled her after 1 year for, quote, promiscuous behavior, end quote. Although I do not doubt that as true. I too attended a conservative Christian school at one point, and you could not even hug the opposite gender for too long without being put on this thing they called social, where you would be barred from having contact with that person you so happened to embrace with. They would joke and say, "Leave room for the Holy Spirit." On November 13th of 1973, Diane and Steve Downs were married together. They had Christy Ann in 1974 and Cheryl in 1976. After Cheryl was born, Steve had a vasectomy. Diane had an extramarital affair with a man named Mark Sager, and as a result, in 1979, Stephen Daniel was born. They called him Danny. But imagine having an affair and naming the product of such affair after the husband you cheated on. In 1980, Steve and Diane were officially divorced. Despite failing various psychiatric testing, on May 8th of 1982, she was a surrogate mother to a baby girl. A couple who could not have children hired a surrogacy agency where Diane was paid $10,000. According to her ex-husband, Diane, quote, treated her children like crap and lacked maternal instincts. Diane forbade everything to her children. If Danny demanded a little attention, she rejected him. But the worst was one day when I caught Cheryl jumping on her bed. I told her that it was not allowed. I made her sit down and think about what she had done. Cheryl remained calm while looking up and asked, "Is there a gun here?" I replied that no, and the reason for this question, to which she told me, "I want to kill me. My mom says I'm bad," end quote. At the time of the filicide, Diane worked for the United States Postal Service and was assigned to various routes in Cottage Grove, Oregon, including where the shootings occurred on Old Mohawk Road. In the summer of 1983, Christy and Danny were removed from her custody by the Oregon State Children Service Division. Witnesses also reported seeing her car being driven very, very slowly, and by slowly they meant approximately 5 to 7 miles per hour. This was key and very alarming, as she said that she was driving at a high speed after the shooting towards the hospital. 9 months after the horrific incident that should not have happened in the first place, on February 28th of 1984, Diane was arrested and charged with 1 count of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder and criminal assault. The prosecution heavily based their case on the fact that Diane shot her children to be free of them so that she could continue her affair with Mr. Knickerbocker Bobbity Bob, and she expressed that he let it be very known to all that he did not want children at all in his life. The prosecution's expert psychiatry witness diagnosed Diane as a histrionic, antisocial narcissist. The expert further testified that, quote, she shows no remorse, she regards her children with no empathy, and as objects of possession, any feelings she has for them are superficial and only extend to how they are part of her and her life, end quote. The prosecution also had the testimony of Diane's surviving daughter, Christy, who, once she recovered her ability to speak, described in grave detail how her mom shot her and her siblings while parked on the side of the road, and how she proceeded to self-inflict herself in the arm.